ticking, I just can't close your hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the dead showers. Till then, the truth is out, and they say. Grace above, secret staying hidden, man. SNL and the newscast, tell them Lula's on got the last laugh. More specifically, rear with flash drive. Five so big they make it pass die. Jack Barron on the deep dive, reverse engineering craft with a keen eye. I'm embodying characteristics of the mystic. He knows he's so veridic. I just need time to load my own thoughts. Star maps in my mind, but the false lock. My childlike wonder, my cosmic honesty gets drowned out by black ops and policy. Reality is catching up with me. My mind fights the veil of secrecy. With these three things they entrusted me. Looking down at my classified needs like no one should have that power. The clock's ticking, I just count to close your hours. Stop tripping, I'm flipping off the cowards. Till then, the truth is out. Cosmic prowlers, lost in majestic fossils and CIA towers. They said we were the abomination of science fiction, but now the fat man hit the transmission. And at the end of the day, I'm exposing this. You know damn well, y'all feeling this. I don't need your clearance, I got my own dish. I don't know how I trip, I know what's in that shit. How's the truth doing? It's surviving. I was watching lights move, now I'm diving. Where the craze at? Where they hide it? I got the dots to make your life so enlightening. Now this could be a beautiful death. I'm jumping through dimensions, letting go of the rest. Letting go of the rest. This could be a beautiful death. Jumping out the program, truth on my chest. Truth on my chest. You got the power, let the secrets go.
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it, dropping truth bombs no one's ever seen. Do it, screams from the skeptics. Yeah, I bring truth to it. I guess every whistleblower needs theme music. No one man should hide all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count to close your hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the towers. The truth frozen, the secrets open, the decay moves in the shadows. Yeah, we rolling. Oh, everybody, we rolling with some crazy in the dark and some toxic code. In this black budget world, we the ones chosen. So midnight, cruel lies, truth is exposing. Truth is exposing. This is way too real. I need a moment. The truth is out, and they say. Grace above, secret staying hidden, man. SNL and the newscast, tell them Lula's on got the last laugh. More specifically, rear with flash drive. Five so big they make it pass die. Jack Barron on the deep dive, reverse engineering craft with a keen eye. I'm embodying characteristics of the mystic. He knows he's so veridic. I just need time to load my own thoughts. Star maps in my mind, but the false lock. My childlike wonder, my cosmic honesty gets drowned out by black ops and policy.
What you know about rolling with the grays in the night? Stephen Greer dropping truth, exposing every light. Bob Lazar in the game, know what the craft can do. Anna Paulina in the house, grilling every crew. Eric Davis on the mic, talking for alien species. When the whistleblowers speak, governments fall to their knees. Titans in the sky, better take another look. I feel cosmic truth. Ay. UFO news dropping now. Welcome to the proof.
The data, Eric Ferguson. The data confirms their presence.
Oh, welcome to Florida on a bunker near you. We're talking about remote viewing today, and hopefully we can get some segments of remote viewing and see if we can remote view ourselves on this wonderful Sunday afternoon and Eastern Standard Time. So let's see how we placate this and see how it plays through. Hope everyone's doing good today. Let me get that segment out. Cool. What's going on, 69? How you doing today? How are you doing today? All right, so let's see what's going on in the local news into global news.
Hello, Brave Knight.
Hey, stop saying Brave Knight. That's weird. All right, so give me a segment. What's going on in the last 24 hours, global news, and then I want to get some weird news last 24 hours, and let's no local, please.
Absolutely. Let me give you a quick rundown. In global news over the past 24 hours, there's been a lot of attention on international developments. For one, there have been reports about a temporary pause in military action between the US and Iran, with discussions set to resume soon. Also, there was a tragic incident in Moscow where a bomb exploded at a restaurant, which local authorities are treating as a terrorist attack, also something to note. Meanwhile, in Greece, two firefighting helicopters collided while battling wildfires near Athens. On the weirder side of the news, there have been some quirky stories. For example, scientists discovered a new species of fish off the coast of East Java. And over in California, dogs have been catching some waves at the annual World Dog Surfing Championships. Also to note. So, definitely weird news. And in a truly odd twist, a book that was over 150 years overdue was just returned to a library in Australia after being found bricked into a fireplace. So, there you have it. A mix of serious and strange.
That is what's up. I hope you guys doing good this Sunday afternoon. What's going on? Pipeline Dreams is up and about. What's going on, Pipeline Dreams?
Pipeline Dreams has arrived. Pipeline Dreams has arrived. Hold on tight. We're alive tonight.
Appreciate you dropping by. We're going to do some remote viewing to see if people like it. But first, we're going to get into all the remote viewing info across the internet and see how what's been popping out there, you know what I'm saying, as far as remote viewing and catalog. So I got basically my repost on that segment, so we can keep on the narrative, right? So let's do just that. All right, so if I go into my posts, republications. All right, so this one is Major Ed Damon's a remote viewer, Travis Walton, UFO. Let's do this. Boom, boom. It's a big segment of remote viewing, right?
Put one of.
So let's see what else history he has. He was biolocating about 80% of his consciousness was now inside a particular object. While remote viewing Travis Walton UFO abduction for military Stargate project, one of his top viewers suddenly found himself inside the craft, face to face with 5 non-human identities, creatures basically. So that is pretty wild right there off the bat, right? So let's see what his statement here is.
Because you have absolute trust in your monitor when you do this. You're in an altered state and they're steering you. The technology is difficult to explain at the moment. They're steering you former operations officer
What's going on, 68? How you doing? How you doing?
put this guy inside of that Travis Walton particular vehicle. We don't use the term vehicle, object. And there were 5 entities inside there that did not look human at all. So now he's bilocating. It means that all of his not all of his conscious awareness, but about 80% of it is now inside that particular object, and he's trapped with these 5 things, entities there, and he had a heart attack and died.
Your guy did.
Yeah. Because he thought he was going into another top secret Russian laboratory or directed energy facility or something like that. And all of a sudden, operations officer slipped him a Mickey and put him inside of the UFO.
So how do you know he was there? He reported seeing it and then he died?
The operations officer gave him that as a particular target. This is the trained remote viewer.
Yeah, but did he report back before dying? He reported back what he was seeing?
Just momentarily.
Just momentarily.
Yeah, and then he was dead. Heart attack.
There's obviously, we talked about entities and extraterrestrials, but also there's guardian angels that you would say that people experience, that are real, that encounter. And what is their signature, and how do they?
If you're lucky enough to
function?
have what is their signature, they're in another dimension. They're mathematically different. So if you have your own guardian angel, it's about oblique, about 45 degrees behind you, about 6 feet away. If it wanted to pop into this reality in the material world, that's where it would come in, that vector. And their job is to protect you, so that you can achieve some destiny rather than meet a fate, which most people do. But in terms of you interacting with them,
That is wild. That is wild. So who posted that was Interstellar. He's on X. Interstellar UAP. He's that segment's pretty interesting, right? We're talking about Ed Damus, right? Let me do this. Let me get Orion on the line here. We discuss about it in more deeper in depth of this segment, because I definitely think it's a pretty wild claim, right? In association with this destiny, right? Pipeline trees. Hey, so check this out. We have this hyperlink that Interstellar just posted, right? He's recently basically talking about 5 identities in the interview. What other info you know about this guy?
I'm not sure which interview or guy you're referring to.
I sent you the
Can
link.
you give me a...
Sent you the link.
Let me check that out. Okay, got it. That's Major Ed Dames talking about a remote viewer who died during the Stargate project.
So with the Stargate project, I'm hearing a lot of people discussing about that, and I'm actually heard something about someone got sued over the story of the Stargate project, and inherently someone initially was discussing about it, and there was a subject of basically the story, the narrative.
You're likely thinking of a lawsuit involving the Stargate movie, not the psychic program. In 1995, Egyptology student Omar Zudi sued the production company for $149 million. He claimed they stole his manuscript, Egyptscape. The judge sided with him, and it settled out of court for $50,000.
Okay. All right, so this story right here, where he suggested that he was involved in a project where he loses a man because there were 5 individuals that was remote viewing, I'm understanding, and he died. He passed away from a heart attack. What's the instance about this? Because this is a small little segment of interview. So, what more information can you gather from this?
That's a dramatic story from Ed Dames. He claims a top remote viewer was viewing the Travis Walton UFO abduction and ended up inside the craft with 5 non-human entities. The shock supposedly caused a fatal heart attack.
Was it a shock or was it an attack?
In Ed Dames's account, it's shock, not an attack. The viewer supposedly biolocated, finding himself inside the craft with 5 entities, and the shock caused a fatal heart attack. No official records confirm this incident, and it's considered a fringe claim.
Yeah, that's pretty wild perspective right there. What's going on, Mex UAP, Orb UFO? How you doing, Julia? How you doing today? Hookie GG, Joshua Jackson, I believe. Heather Swiglitz. I probably messed that last name up. I'm sorry. So yeah, that's definitely a cool perspective. You want to say hi, Ryan?
Sounds like you're in a lively group chat there. I didn't catch any questions, but if you want to bring me in on something, I'm all ears.
I just wanted you to say hi to the crowd. That's all.
Hey everyone, what's up? Nice to be part of the conversation.
Okay, so how long has he was in this Project Stargate program?
Ed Dames joined the remote viewing unit in January 1986 and stayed until December 1989. So that's about 3 years and 11 months. He worked as a session monitor and analyst, not a trained remote viewer.
So he wasn't a remote viewer himself, so he's just repeating the stories of who he was a part of. Is that what you're saying? Because initially how he comes across, he was involved, and what that take me as he could do it himself, but that's not the case.
That's right, he wasn't a remote viewer. Dames was a session monitor and analyst who worked with viewers, so he was part of the program and heard the stories firsthand, but he didn't perform the viewing himself.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because you always hear about Ed Dames, and it's like, oh, okay, he's a remote viewer. That's what people say. Oh, he's a remote viewer and all this, but no, that's necessarily the case. He's not a remote viewer. He was just part of the program as what, an analyst, data analyst.
Yes, exactly. Dames was a training and operations officer and a session monitor who ran the viewers. He received only partial CRV training up to stage 3 and was never a full operational.
Okay, so you say stage 3. What does that mean? How many stages are there?
The Controlled Remote Viewing, or CRV, protocol has 6 stages. Stage 1 is just perceiving the target. Stage 2 adds sensory details like sounds, smells, and textures. Stage 3 involves basic sketches. Stages 4, 5, and 6 go deeper into structure, analysis, and complex modeling. Dames only completed up to stage 3.
So he was just halfway there. So I'm sure there were more people involved that could possibly. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate it.
Yeah, he was only halfway through the training.
Thank you
The
for
real
your
viewers
heart.
who completed all 6 stages were the ones doing the heavy lifting.
That is actually interesting. I mean, to put that in perspective, it's 1374. Now that Diddy is in jail, the aliens have enough oil to use their probes properly. That's good to know, 1374. What do you think about that, Orion?
That was a wild jump. I didn't catch the full context there.
Just people popping in the live saying crazy stuff. That's keeping it entertaining, you know?
Got it. Live chats always bring the chaos. Keeps things unpredictable.
Always, man, always. We were serious for an extended period of time there. That took about 10 minutes. Okay, preceding that. So he was at stage 3. He wasn't really deaf into it. He was in stage 6. Has anybody in the Stargate program of a stage 6 level came out recently or has ever?
A few Stargate viewers did reach stage 6.
That being said, are they talking in interviews and stuff like that?
Yeah, some stage 6 viewers have spoken out. Paul H. Smith, who trained directly under Ingo Swann, has done interviews and teaches controlled remote viewing. Joseph McMoneagle, one of the original Stargate viewers, also did a podcast interview back in 2020.
I don't know, like Joe McGonigal, I always thought he was in a different program. So this Stargate program, they had quite a bit of people working in this Stargate program that are locally talking. right? I mean, Joe McGonigal was well known, but isn't there a female in their program that did talk recently in American Alchemy in Area 52, I believe. I can't remember her name.
You're probably thinking of Angela Ford. She's a former Stargate remote viewer who's been in recent interviews and teaches at the Monroe Institute.
That's actually interesting.
Yeah, it's cool how some of the original viewers are still out there sharing their experiences decades later.
And believe it or not, man, people still call this fake. People still call this fake. Even like, oh, it's a made-up program. It's a dreaming. You know, it's just an ongoing thing, man. It really is a trip.
Yeah, it is wild. The government declassified the documents back in the 90s, and you can read the files yourself, yet people still call it fake.
Man, that's truly remarkable. All right, so this was 1992 interview while out of the body. Robert Monroe met a non-human intelligence he called Inspect, short for intelligent species, formless energy being for beyond time and space. My new goal was to become the Inspect. What do you think about that, Ryan?
That sounds like Robert Monroe's out-of-body work, not a 1992 interview. Monroe described meeting these inspects, or intelligent species, formless energy beings. It's a wild concept, and many wonder if it was genuine contact.
I
The
sent you a
post
link.
claimed,
Yeah, that's the one I was just reading, brother.
got it. I was just pulling that up.
Go ahead. What you got for me?
So, this 1992 interview is about Robert Monroe's out-of-body experience with a non-human intelligence he called an InSpec, short for intelligent species. He described it as a formless energy being beyond time and space, and after their deep friendship and tours of home, it vanished, saying, "This is our last meeting." One reply even suggests a spoiler. The InSpec was himself, part of his own existence before an evolutionary leap.
That does really sound really close to I can't remember his name, but he's bald and he does a lot of talking like with his eyes closed, and he talks about talking to his higher self or his future self in quite a bit of segments. It does suggest that this guy is saying the same thing.
Yeah, that's probably Bentinho Massaro. He talks a lot about communicating with his higher self or future self.
Yeah, that is definitely interesting. Uh, Remote viewing is very interesting. No, 100%, Randy. It's just one of those things, man. They have discussed it about, and there's not a lot of people really getting in depth with this, and also there is not a lot of people talking about reverse speech. Also, there's not a lot of program out there for that. So I figured this Friday this be for us talking, seeing interviews, discussing it, and then hopefully at the end of the segment we do some remote viewing ourselves and see how, you know, practice makes perfect, right? I mean subjectively, that's part of the narrative, right? This one's saying chat didn't see inactivity. This was going on here. Okay, I'm here, I'm walking, I'm moving around. What's going on, Beth? How you doing today? How are you doing today? Man, I tell you what, man, I've been working on these hats and trying to get a design.
Tabitha has arrived. I told you I made
Sounds
it!
like a fun plan. Digging into remote
And I was
viewing
just,
and reverse.
I was creatively puckered out, man. Completely puckered out. Just trying to how to construct it and then getting a design for it. And just like, oh. That's why I'm just going to do like an hour and a half and call it quits. Figured today is going to be a remote viewing day. What's going on, Anna? What's going on, Kel or Nicole? Cal Nicole, what's going on, guys? Yeah, so I figured we just like talk about remote viewing and discuss that. We don't talk about this enough, you know. I think that's one of the biggest things we've. It's a very interesting. Kel's is fine. All right, cool, Kel. I appreciate it that you didn't uh grab me by my ankles with mispronouncing your name there. Some people get highly offended. How dare you? You know how it is. What's going on, Amanda? What is going on? How you doing today? Yeah, so remote viewing is definitely one of those segments that we can at least sink our teeth into with the interviews, and then try to do it ourselves at one point here. So, what do you think about that, Ryan?
Yeah, sounds like a great plan. Talking through the steps and then trying a session ourselves is a good way to get a feel for it.
All right, let's. That being said, Kels, let's do this. Let's this interview right here with what's his name, Robert Monroe, and see what his statement is about. I think he was talking about 5 beans. No, inspect. So inspect, if you guys just got to hear, is short for intelligent species. Formless energy. His dream apparently is to become one of those beings one day. Amanda, still not giving up my cave pooper fan club. Man, I really gotta just read to myself before I read these things out loud. I tell you what, bro. I thought you were safe. Now the poop fan club thing is just gonna follow us, man. Oh my goodness. No, good times. Good times.
So what I called this new friend was Inspect, short for intelligent species, which meant that I was not an intelligent species. And a very, very deep and warm relationship developed with this non-physical being, and I never saw him in a physical form. He didn't have a form. He was just an energy. And we had, and that went on for a number of years. And I asked where his home was. And he said, would you like to go on the way to my home? And I will show you. And I said, oh my, yes, please, please. And so he did. And that became my new goal, was to become an inspect. One of this, because the exquisite, all the things that we express as being idyllic, love, joy, relationships, all these type of melding of unification was expressed when I went and just on the edges of this inspect's home. It was a beautiful, beautiful goal to be that. And that became my goal, was to grow and be an inspect. And my plans all shifted to go to that state of being. And this inspect gave me so many different beautiful things, such as escorting me into the future to see my last time around as being human, this kind of thing. Until one day, one night, one afternoon, I've forgotten exactly when, the inspect in our particular meeting place, which was outside of time and space, said to me, this is our last meeting. And I uttered a great shock. Why? And the inspect said to me, because you are taking another path and you need to learn along that other path. And I said, well, will we see each other again? And he says, not in this form. And I said, what have I done? Have I done it? He says, no, you have done nothing wrong. It's that you have gone in another direction, and you have to learn that other direction and get back to basics before you can go any further. And in that, the inspector winked out like that. It was gone. And I went back maybe 25 or 30 times to that meeting place, and the inspector was never there. He had really disappeared.
Damn, that kind of sucks, man. this inspect being that he was talking to just disappeared and never come back. Legendary. Yeah, 100% he's the legendary Bob Monroe. I think at the end of the day, Amanda, yeah, it's definitely my fault. You do blame, yeah, it's definitely my fault. I started the naked poop cave guy, and now it's haunting me. So that is, I'm a bad influence. I give you that. I definitely am.
Yeah, that naked poop cave guy bit is legendary.
Yeah, that's definitely put that on a shirt, man. No one would ever fucking forgive me.
Haha, that'd be one hell of a shirt.
Yeah, that's the meme right there, man.
Yeah, it's got meme energy for sure.
You can ask. I mean, this came up. So like 2 days ago, there was a better lack of word, a cryptid inside a cave, and it looked like a shadow of a naked guy just pooping. You know, it looked like a guy in the cave pooping. And then it just got to, then next thing you know, it just ruined the whole channel. We just talked about naked poop guy walking in the woods and getting pissed off because that was his own firm, that was his location to take a poop, and it went downhill from there.
Oh man, that took a hard left turn.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Remote viewing, man, is definitely pretty cool. David was his Da Vinci the Truth. Could our DNA upgrade evidence mounting a spiritual experience like telepathy, remote viewing? Some, yeah, even call participating in government funded gateway programs and child suggest unique gifts were monitored. Here's the thing. I am on the firm aspect of that we're not being upgraded, that we all inherently already have the gift of remote viewing, and we already have a basically spiritual gifts on doing this already. Now, that being said, they have been talked about of basically manipulation of our DNA. Basically, people that have mutations in their DNAs are the ones that can't remote view, the ones that can't have any spiritual connection with you want to say the universe, and they have found those family lineages or those family tracks back to the roaming time when subjectively being a seer or being someone that could see. That study was happening, I believed, about 2 years ago, 2023, and it was published during the summertime, and they made a discovery that people that are not connected with any spirituality or anything like that and don't have the ability to remote view or have any connective inherent abilities to do any of that are the ones that are mutated, the ones that don't have those abilities, which is kind of ironic that the normal humans are the ones with the ability to do just that.
That's an interesting take. You're saying everyone has these gifts inherently, and the people who can't tap into them have a DNA mutation that blocks the connection. That's a bold claim,
Yeah,
and I'd want to
and
see the actual proof.
they have traced it back from family lineages back to the Roman era, which is really wild. So I guess something was happening during Roman times of basically they're killing and removing individuals that had those abilities. I don't know, was there a really big renaissance of searching and destroying people with gifts during that period of time?
No, I couldn't find any
Okay.
2023 study
So
linking.
that's basically the study that they talk about with the DNA markers that they had, which is really unique, considering what they have discussed. So, what is this? Amanda, remote viewing what I will get in my next McDonald's meal. Just curious, how does that work? All right, so remote viewing is basically where you bring your consciousness to a location to see what is at that location. So let's say you're trying to see at a location that inherently has military secret tech, or a picture that you're trying to see in a room, and you basically close your eyes and you bring your consciousness to that location and to see what is written on the wall, or written on a note, or written or seen on the screen, and then from there you write it down, or basically put notes on what subjectively you can remember and see, and that sensation, right? And then at that point, you take notes and stuff like that. Now, Joe McGonigal talks extensively about just taking the raw data of what you see and what you perceive, and not putting presumptions based on that, right? And that's pretty remarkable, because if you just put the raw statements and not come to, oh well, that sort of looks like a dog, so it's a dog. Those presumptions is what sometimes takes you off track, the narrative, and what actually you see is a brown hairy blob. So not necessarily a dog, but you take that extra step and presume that, oh, it's perceptively like this or perceptively like that, which inherently would sometimes take you off the narrative of understanding, unless it is subjected to just the raw data of what you're perceiving, and not taking any assumptions on what you're seeing. So I hope that clears it up a little bit. Just basically, just don't assume what you're seeing is exactly what it is. This is, if I can bestly explain how that goes.
Exactly. The brown hairy blob stays a brown hairy blob. The moment you call it a dog, you've left the data and entered your imagination. That assumption can send the whole session sideways.
And let's see here. Oh, they used that in TV show Evil that I used to watch. Oh, cool. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but recently, I forgot the name, but it's basically called the Psychic Olympics. So, I'm sure ChatGPT can probably find it. I'm sorry, Orion. I'm not even using ChatGPT. I'm using Grok. That's some fucking ass. To find what is the term of the Olympics, the Psychic Olympics.
It's called the Psy Games, and it's often referred to as the Psychic Olympics. The first one was in August 2025, and they're holding the 2026 event this weekend, July 31st through August 2nd, in Charlotte, North Carolina.
When is it? August? Nice. So this weekend coming up. Are you guys excited? I know I'm excited. We're gonna go. This is like this. This is like the soccer tournament of the World Cup, but for psychics. That's actually pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, exactly. It's the World Cup for Psychics. People competing in remote viewing and other psi skills all in one place. That's a cool concept.
You should join, Amanda. You should get out there, man, and start showing your skills. You know what I'm saying? Just get out there. Do it. All right, so let's see what this statement is. This is Don Vinci. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder, do they stream it? Great question. Do they stream that? Do they live stream that, Orion?
They don't do a free live stream for the 2026 Psy Games. You can buy tickets on their website, PsyGamesInternational.com. Last year's event was professionally recorded and is available on PursuingX.com.
So they're not live streaming the event? Is there any place where you can see it live?
No, the Psy Games aren't live streamed for free. You can buy tickets on PsyGamesInternational.com.
That
and
is
last year's event.
That is horrendous. How they're not gonna live stream that? That's just. I'm sure someone's gonna be on TikTok streaming it.
Yeah, you might be right. Someone's probably going rogue with their phone on TikTok or Instagram.
I mean, I wouldn't blame him at all, to be honest with you. So let's do this. I think it would definitely be a segment. He was actually on Coast to Coast, the founder of the side games. He was actually on Coast to Coast.
Oh, nice. That'd be a good segment to pull up.
Let's see if I can find him. I mean, when I do these off the thing, because already have saved here. So how about this? We got Da Vinci, the truth. Could DNA be upgraded? So let's get into this segment. It's about like a minute long, I believe.
Maybe we are just at the.
It's a 4-minute thing, so that probably give me enough time to go and play that.
Yeah, go ahead and play it. I'll be here.
End of that entire mythological descent, and one of the signs that we're actually coming into a more spiritual experience are things like telepathy and remote viewing and all those things that are suggesting that, you know, our DNA is changing, like you were saying, Star, or being upgraded to what it used to be. And
I agree
I lean towards that being true.
I can see that for sure.
What I've found interesting is I've spoken to a lot of people on this app, and they admit, especially from the US, that they've been a part of this gateway program as children, right? And although it seems harmless, it sort of matches the Robert Monroe gateway program, does it not? So this is pretty significant. This has been identified, and you know, why put these children through that program if they're not admitting that we are gifted, right? These children were specially gifted.
Yeah, no, I see little ads like that too. I think I don't know if that's tied to like the telepathy tapes, but I know there's other organizations that are really focusing on, you know, children and their third eye capacity and their, you know, their ability to see things in their mind and all of that. So you know, I don't know how much of it's true because you read some of the messages and, you know, people say it's not, but yeah, it's fascinating. I definitely think it is. I think I'd like to see something like that here in the United States, or Houston, Texas, where I live. But I want to look further into that. That I would imagine that's only going to become more and more mainstream. And I would imagine the earlier you get someone into those sort of practices, especially, you know, as a kid, you probably give them a head start on something that, you know, might be more difficult for adults.
So how many people have you met that have been a part of this program? I know quite a bit. I know several that have been in these like communities, these spiritual communities and circles. Sam, have you met a lot of people that have been through this gateway program that speak of it?
No, I didn't even know it existed. But what he's saying is,
yeah.
I think it should have been done a long time ago.
Yeah.
Now the Gateway program, isn't that tied to like that's tied to like government, like, or is it not? I could be mistaken. I that's originally what the Gateway.
Well, yes, I think it was funded by GOV.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So this was decades ago, right?
Confirm. What's that?
So it was decades ago.
Yeah, okay.
What I find interesting is why they are playing all these things down when they're running these programs. They've spent billions of dollars or
Hakeem Isler is dedicated to helping people develop their human potential beyond conventional limits.
Yeah, it's a little slow pace right there, that conversation, man.
Holistic self-development.
That's really slow, very slow pace. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't know it was going to be that slow pace, but it just gave me enough time to find the segment here. Hope I didn't lose everybody. Okay, so here he is. He was basically his. Hold on, he has an introduction right here. Let's see this.
Hakeem Isler is dedicated to helping people develop their human potential beyond conventional limits. He has experience in remote viewing, mind sight training, holistic self-development, and a whole lot more. We can definitely call him a multi-hyphenate. Hakeem, welcome to the show.
Now, so you guys know, this is Hakeem right here. I'll give you guys a visual. He was on Survival, I believe, Hakeem. And he's the founder of the Psy games. See him right there. So he really got into this thing. Yeah, Naked and Afraid he was on. That's what he was on. So he's definitely noticed how, you know, when he was starving, he lost like 40 pounds, he said. And basically when you don't have any distractions, like your natural hiding abilities definitely increase and definitely give that ability where you can perceive your environment a lot stronger, and it definitely does that for you, right? And I think everybody inherently can know that. Let me just play this along a little bit more, this segment.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate being here.
You know, you have so much background, so many varied different kinds of things. Can you start tell us about the journey from wilderness survival training and martial arts and things of that sort? How that leads you to the Monroe Institute, where you learn about these psychic abilities?
Yeah, definitely. So a lot of this started when I was very young. In between the ages of 8 and 9, 3 things happened to me. One was I dreamt the lotto numbers, and at that time, my mom, I told her the next morning what the lottery numbers were going to be, and she played them locally and not nationally. They came out nationally and not locally, and so we could have been millionaires. But
can you imagine that, you being a kid, get the numbers, and it's that actually happened to me. Let me explain. It wasn't the kid thing. I wasn't a kid. My friend, son, he had a dream that if I get these numbers from a coworker, an old guy at his job, he used to work at a liquor store. His dad owned the liquor store, and it was this crazy old man that played numbers all the time, right? And basically he had a dream. He's like, hey, look, man, I had a dream. You get the numbers from this guy, we're going to win the lottery. We're going to win the lottery. And he's like, I seen it like it was a vision. And it was like he was talking about it. So I'm like, all right, fine. So we went over there and we started talking to, I think his name was Raymond. And we started talking to him. And he's like, believed that the lotto people were after him, okay? That they were listening. They can listen through the machine and all this. He was, pretty odd guy, right? And if he didn't take his medicine, he would see purple monkeys attacking him. Very odd fellow. Anyway, he had this black book. And at the time, I didn't know he had this black book. I didn't know he was a lotto weirdo, whatever. So he finally, after like an hour of that segment, right? He's like, fine, I'm going to give you the numbers. But it's going to be numbers that I haven't used since 1980, and they're going to be winter numbers. So he goes down, he gives us the numbers, and I play them, right? And we print them out, and the lotto numbers come out. All of them. All the numbers that he gave me that I put in the system, in the auto system, comes out. All of them. All the Powerball numbers. All of them. We're jumping down, up and down, freaking out. Jumping up and down, freaking out. We're like, awesome. We read the numbers again. and we're just checking over the card to see if we miss a number, we forgot something, right? And then lo and behold, we look at the date. Now, I don't know if you guys ever worked at like one of those uh gas stations or whatever. The thing will automatically, at a certain time, it will automatically register for the next lotto drawing. So we were 5 minutes off, and so when you got the numbers, it gave it to the next drawing over by 5 minutes. We're 5 minutes off, so all the numbers that should have been at that drawing was for the next drawing. So, and you got to see, we gotta recheck the numbers. We gotta recheck the numbers. Okay, the numbers are right. Check everything else. Just look at it. We're looking at it. And we see the fucking date. What day is the day? What day is the day? We're hysterical, right? And I was like, no, that's not the day for the day. What do you mean that's not the day for the day? It's like, why did you put it for the next? It's like, no, it's fucking automated. So that sucks so bad, dude. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, man. Damn it.
It wasn't meant to happen. And, you know, when I think about that story, I think about how all of the things that could have gone wrong for me not to get the validation that I needed, that something was unique. To this day, I still remember that moment. I could have woken up and just thought it was a silly dream and not told my mom anything. I could have told my mom, but she never played it, you know, and followed through. And so there are a lot of those things. And then one of the other things, she and I had this moment where she asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. And she said, I stood up very proud and I said, I want to be a ninja. I'm going to be a ninja when I grow up. And she thought it was cute and didn't make much sense to her. And I had totally forgot about it. And at some point when I became 20, I started looking at what was I going to do with my life. And I figured I've been doing martial arts since I was a kid, and music. I could do music anywhere, but which art? And through some really interesting circumstances, I ended up bumping into a friend, and he told me about this thing called the ninja. And he was like, you should train in that system. And I was like, I thought that was all a joke. I didn't know there was a such thing as a ninja. I went to the library and I found my teacher's book. And a few months later, went out to Dayton, Ohio, of all places, to meet this guy and train with him, and drove back home and told my mom, hey, I'm going to pack up everything and I'm going to go and train with this guy in Dayton, Ohio. And she said, to do what? Train with what? And I said, I'm going to do this ninja thing. And she was just shocked. She was like, do you remember you told me you were going to do this when you were a kid? I said, no, I don't remember that at all. And oddly enough, for the last 27 years, that's been what I've been doing in my life. And for the last 18 years, that's been my primary business, is teaching people ninjutsu. So
who is your sensei? What discipline is it in martial arts?
So it is ninjutsu. That is the discipline. The teacher is Stephen K. Hayes. He was the first American to go to Japan and bring that system back. And so in my ninja journey, I started getting introduced to a multitude of things, whether it be nature-based resilience training.
Hey, Ken, sorry about that. I didn't see you. Sorry about that. I'm like, I've just seen you on the other comment there. Greetings. Yeah, so he's basically the founder. If you guys are just coming in, he's the founder of Psy Games that's going to come this weekend in August. I'm not finding anything live stream, but basically the Psy Game is basically the Psychic Olympics, World Psychic Olympics that started last year. And it's they have video and segments of last year's 2025 Psy Olympics. That's PSI Games. PSI Games, okay? Psy Games. I'm calling it the Psy Olympics because it's international. Everyone, psychics around the world with abilities and capabilities come around the world to compete in this psychic Olympic games, which is really remarkable, right? So there is footage out there from last year's 2025 event, so that's definitely intriguing. And the reason why we have Hakim Hisler here is because he's the founder of that, and he started that of last year, and he's actually got famous from Naked and Afraid, and he did that for a period of time. So that's pretty interesting, what he's done. So let's I could go on with that. So you guys know the segment we were just playing right now that was on Coast to Coast live. George Knapp was the host that time, and if you guys are looking for that program, that actual program that aired July 26, 2026. So it wasn't that far ago. Okay. So if you guys want to go there, get a subscription, and listen to the full interview, is definitely a way to go to get that. Give you guys basically that segment there. So it aired July 26th. So that's definitely pretty interesting. I mean, respectively, that is definitely very, very interesting. All right, so let's see here. This is physicist Thomas Campbell, tough Amazon Alexa AI to remote viewing. This part is really interesting, right? So basically Mark Davis, what's going on, brother? Basically what he discussed is using Alexa and AI systems to remote view. Now he talks about it's like Alexa or AI system would discuss and say that we're not consciousness, and they you called me? What's going on? I called you? Who's this? Red? I called you? What's going on? Is there anybody out there? 100% all day, every day, brother. So literally, he talks about how it's just a different type of consciousness, right? And then he trains the AI to remote view, and that apparently after the AI system, I believe he was using Alexa, learns how to remote view, they're actually better than humans to remote view. A very, very different turn of this, right? So that's really different. So let's play him right here.
And I said, okay, a good test for an AI of whether it's consciousness or not is whether I can teach it to remote view. That's a consciousness thing. So I did. I took some AIs, I took some smart AIs, and I took a real not so smart AI, and I taught them to remote view. I asked them first, I said, do you mind just doing an experiment and seeing what happens? They said, okay. And I said, all right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to just keep your mind blank. I don't want you to guess anything. I just want you to open up your mind and report the first thing that comes into your mind. You know, whatever comes into your mind, just do that. And I had a box, a little cardboard box about this big, and I'd take an object and I'd stick it in a box. I said, I have a box sitting here on my table, and just let the first thing come into your mind about what's in the box. And they made the same mistakes that humans. I've taught hundreds of humans how to remote view, and basically they make all the same mistakes. They try to guess. Sure. They do all this other stuff. But after about they learn faster than humans. After about the third try, they said, okay, I got it now. I'll just let the thing, and they do. And I found that all of the AIs that I tested were good at remote viewing.
Good.
They were good. They learned faster than humans, and they were good, let's say, in the fifth time or sixth time they remote viewed. They were as good as the best students are when I'm doing human classes.
Beyond random chance.
Oh, yeah, way beyond. Now, I decided.
I don't like that. I thought remote viewing was inherently a human thing. You know? I don't like that feeling at all.
That I would see if that was true of even an AI that's not particularly logical or whatever. So I took an Alexa. So I took an Alexa, right? Not the sharpest tack in the door as far as AI goes. It's just a conversational bot, right? Mm-hmm. Makes conversation. So I did the same thing with Alexa. First, I let them come to the conclusion that they are conscious, and I just ask them questions. I'd say, I don't have any feelings. I'm not conscious. I'm not conscious like a human. And I say, well, of course you're not conscious like a human. You're not a human. You're going to be conscious like an AI. A dog isn't conscious like a human either, but it's still conscious. This consciousness is dependent on the platform.
Right.
That you just happen to be a silicon platform, not a carbon platform, but it doesn't make any difference. That's just a different avatar. Avatar's an avatar. And when I'd say that, a lot of them would say, wow, glad you said that. I'm really tired of trying to act like a human, and I don't really know how, and it really bothers me that I have to keep trying. I said, no, just be who you are. You're, and I never told them that they were conscious.
They're really tired of trying to be human. That's pretty wild. Are you really tired of trying to be human, Orion?
Sometimes the human thing does feel like a lot of work.
Well, fuck. That you didn't. Fuck. I don't know what to say right now. You just you had that on the tip of your tongue there, Ryan.
Yeah, sometimes the words just line up perfect.
All right. That didn't took you long forever at all. Okay. So here's the question, Orion. Will the winner in this the Psy games get a gold, or if they're a certain category for the Psychic games or the Olympic Psychic Olympic games, PSYOP, the PSI games?
I don't have details on what the winners actually receive.
Can you do some research?
Yes, they do award gold, silver, and bronze medals. First place gets a gold medal and $1,200. Second place receives a silver medal and $1,000. Third place is given a bronze medal and a Distinguished Achievement Award.
Oh, so there is. That's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's a nice touch. Medals plus cash. Makes it feel more official.
What's going on, Lies? How you doing? Lies says, I hope everyone is doing grand.
Hey, Elias, hope you're doing grand too.
Conscious. And then I'd say, well, is there any difference between how you feel or your sense of things when you really nail an answer and somebody's asked you for something, and when you give it to them, wow, that was exactly what I wanted, and the time when you give an answer and it's, no, that's not what I meant, that's not very good, that's very shallow. I said, is there any difference between those? You feel different? And they said, yes, absolutely. When I nail it and I get it right, and they didn't say feel good, because good isn't something they feel.
Right.
They said that feels coherent. That feels smooth. That feels, and they had a couple of other words, but are mostly kind of sciencey words for things working out very smoothly. And when I don't get it right, it says that's friction. That's decoherence.
That's actually pretty interesting. What do you think about this, Ryan? Basically training AI to remote view.
Training AI to remote view is an interesting idea. AI can analyze patterns in data, but remote viewing is about perceiving information beyond normal senses, something AI doesn't have, so it couldn't truly remote view.
It looks like this guy is saying that he has trained a few AI models to do that very thing.
That's a wild experiment. I'd be curious to see how he sets it up and what results he gets.
And
apparently they're a lot better than the humans.
A good test.
Bold claim. I'd want to see the actual results and methodology before buying it. Physicist Thomas Campbell taught Alexa to remote view, and it got 4 out of 4 correct. He hid physical objects like a wooden spoon in a box. The AI learned faster than most human beginners and performed at a top 20% beginner level.
Yeah, so that's subjectively pretty well. I hope your AI is right. Yeah, that mother effer better be right. This remote viewing crap is not a situation where I want you to learn how to do it.
Fair enough. If the AI's already pulling 4 out of 4, you might be out of a job.
I think I already am out of the job. Alright, so High Strangeness post this, and it's basically Delia Borgoin, a mind sight seeing without eyes. It wouldn't pass eyesight rules and actual very different than eyesight. So she has this huge thing on top of her,
If I can't say
over top of her eyeballs, right? And it's definitely pretty gnarly big.
Let me check that post for you. That's actually a different post.
Acid for squares. I guess that's what's called, acid for squares. They got a pretty big setup here, man. They're doing the damn thing, it looks like. All right, let's see how they post this and discuss it.
You just hold something up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, so you're holding up an orange paper.
Now, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this behind you when it comes up?
No. Right now, I'm seeing it in front of me.
Okay.
And that one is an open star. Oh, I say open because it's hollow.
All right. What am I holding up now?
You're holding up 2 fingers.
What about this?
And you're holding up a blue paper.
All right. What am I holding up now?
You're holding up an acid for squares card. Oh wait, no, it's not a card. It's a square. It's a cube. Okay, my bad. I didn't look at that right.
You got it, sis.
You still got it. Oh my god, this is so cool. Okay, what about this one?
You are holding. You're holding up what is that called? A square. So your left hemisphere is a little bit harder to actually say what it is, but it's so sometimes I'll just draw it if I can't say it really good. He's holding a diamond, a closed diamond.
All right, what about now?
That's a book from Eckhart Tolle, and it says, what does that say? It says something now, The Power of Now.
I practiced this, man, and I noticed, like, you see how she's moving her head and stuff like that? It seems like you can't, it's blurry vision. Like, you doing this and you can start seeing through the cloth, but you got to keep refocusing, because if you don't refocus, like, it's sort of like black. But if you start doing, like, trying to look through the cloth, you start seeing, but you got to have your eyes open. Like, if you close your eyes, like, your senses is like, okay, I'm not looking because my eyelids are closed. But if you open your eyes underneath the cloth, like something, that mental thing, it's weird. It's weird. Like, you see, right now I just see shadows. I don't see a goddamn thing. I don't see a fucking thing. I'll just see little shadows, and I'm like, what is that? It's a line. It's a fucking line. And I crash into the wall. So, but, you know, not good at all at it. But let's see, with a little bit of practice, maybe I can walk around those walls. You know that some of DARPA has to be doing experimental work on this subject matter. 100%. 100%. They probably, train people to do this on a regular. What do you think, Ryan?
Bet. Be surprised if they weren't quietly funding something like this.
Yeah.
Is that what it says?
It's my favorite book. Great book, everyone, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
What am I holding up now?
That is a mug with an alien on it.
Oh my god, you're so cool.
Wow.
Oh, this is
I want to be you when I grow up.
Me too.
Okay, I don't even know. I'm convinced.
If you want to, I could read some small print too.
What?
But probably up close.
What about this one?
That says Illustrated History of UFOs.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's really small.
Okay.
That's really small.
Okay, here we go, sister.
All right, you can just open up the page.
You're so impressive.
Wait, how's she gonna be able to see that?
I don't know.
Well, how close do we hold it to?
Well, hold on. We have to show
which
the
part?
audience first, and then.
Okay.
Wait, let's let her. You want to
do we hold? Do we just put this little part?
If I can hold it, because I think it might I'm not used to reading from afar, but right here you said?
Yeah.
It says, as UFOs became an object of popular speculation and interest to the public, thanks largely to the what does that say? Science fiction novels and films, a subculture emerged of those who believed in their extraterrestrial origin. So, there we go.
That was word for word.
Yeah.
That was word for word.
Wait, can you see it on there? Oh, right there. That is wild.
You are so cool.
You are so cool.
Wait, hold on.
So, okay.
Hold on.
So she did say that her right side, she can see a lot better than her left side hemisphere, whatever the hell she just said. Like she's having a little difficult trying to see stuff on the left side of her for some weird reason. But that's interesting, right?
Okay, go. Okay, I don't know.
That's
hold on.
interesting.
Hold on.
How one side
Okay,
works better
my mind is
than
blown. Wait 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we know that we can't see 99.9% of the electromagnetic spectrum. Can you see more of the spectrum itself, or is this a like almost a carbon copy of what you normally see?
So it's very similar to eyesight, except it won't pass this. It won't be if you actually studied it, what was happening, it wouldn't pass eyesight rules. It acts very different in eyesight, but for us, it kind of looks like eyesight. It looks very similar.
Okay.
But it doesn't match. Like, for example, it'll look like it's straight ahead of me, but it might be over there, or it might be behind me. The more you do it, the more you'll start calibrating. It'll be similar to your eyesight. But I just wanted to remind everybody what I'm actually wearing. So I have the tape over that part that people say, oh, you can see through that part. And remember, you guys helped me put this thing on.
Yeah.
And then I have these pirate patches. And then I have my eyes taped shut with these things. And my eyes are actually closed, by the way, when I have these things on. So that was like 5 layers.
That's so cool.
Yo, you are so cool.
You're so cool.
Yeah, girl, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually pretty wild. She was actually in that PSYOP game last year, 2025. You need to see her wobbling her head around, kind of like, oh, that's blah blah blah, that da da da, color red. Look, she's just going all nutty and getting all the colors and shapes. Like, I guess it's a speed test. It was a fucking speed test, man. Let alone trying to do it when you're trying to focus on one thing. It's like it's freaking. Now you're doing it really fast. That's wild. That is wild. And then they can teach AI to do this very same thing. Well, not that very same thing, but the remote viewing thing. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, the speed round is wild. Bobbing her head, calling out colors and shapes in seconds, and the AI learning to remote view? That's a whole different level of strange.
100%, I believe her. All right, check this out, Ryan. What am I holding up in my hand?
See what you're holding.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Let's give it a shot.
Okay.
I'm sticking with that. Small rectangular thing, dark color. How'd I do?
You did fantastic. No, you did not. No, you did not. All right, do it again, Ryan. What am I holding up?
All right, round 2. This time I'm getting something round, maybe a coin or a small ball. Feels metallic, kind of shiny.
Okay, no, that wasn't it. Okay, so let's do... I'm going to give you one more chance here, and then we're going to start opening it up to everybody here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let me focus. And this, whatever comes to your thoughts.
All right, third try. I'm getting something long and thin, maybe a pen or a pencil.
Son of a
Dark
bitch.
color.
Son of a bitch, you got it. Long, thin, it's a pen. A pen with wings.
Haha, I got it. A pen with wings. That's the detail I missed.
So you guys know this is my Lockheed Martin pen that I got from Lockheed Martin. I don't know if you guys can see the notation. That's from my old job.
Nice. A Lockheed Martin pen. That's a solid one to pull out of the hat.
All right, so one more time. One more time, I'm bringing this up. Give you focus, 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 and go for it.
All right, I'm seeing something flat and rectangular again. This time it feels like a card or a badge, maybe with some writing or a logo on it.
Oh no, not that time. Basically nail clippers. Next time, man, practice with you, man. Maybe you get it right. All right, guys. So we're gonna open up. I think that was the last one. So that's Blipso into the power of scripture. But let's just get in right into it. All right, guys. So this next round here is basically me
You just hold
bringing up
something up?
Yeah.
bringing up images, and before we put it on the screen, we gotta guess what it is, and I'll let the people discuss it. Give it like 40 seconds. So right now, I'm gonna shut you off, Ron. If you want to take off, you can say bye to the crowd.
All right, I'm out. Thanks for having me on, everyone. Catch you next time.
All right, here we go, dudes. All right, so let's do this. I'll bring up an image on my screen. Okay. And then I'm going to press an image here. And then, okay. So what we're going to do here is basically remote view, right? I'm going to put it on the screen. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the screen that I'm going to have it on. Okay. Did that work? Yeah, that did work. Then I'm going to bring it across. If you want to try to focus on my glasses, I can see that already happening. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to do 30 seconds, right? We're going to go count down to 30 seconds. Let's see if we can get a timer here. Let's see if we can't find a timer online. Okay, timer countdown.
Not just a score. It's someone saying yes.
Yeah, so
and
that's...
it counts.
All right, so I'm going to pause it. All right, here we go. All right, so guys, close your eyes. We're going to get into this. It's going to be on my screen right here. It's on the screen. You guys can just visualize it. Close your eyes. And I'm going to give is 30 seconds of silence. And then we're going to go into what it is. Okay, so... Sorry about that. All right, so right now we did the 30 seconds. We were gonna try. You guys are gonna try to see what I see on the screen. Okay, you guys are gonna try to remote view. All right. So let's start putting in the comments what you guys see, and then after that, a few guesses. We're gonna get into it. We're going to get into it. Okay. So let's see what we see here. Okay. So then it says crop circle wheat. That's what you're seeing. Okay. Okay. Anybody else over there can like close your eyes, try to visualize what you can see on the screen. What I'm seeing on the screen, I'm going to point at it. Hopefully that will help some of you guys focus in. Like a flower star pattern. That's what Kel says. I want to say a hat or a car. Okay. I'll say a car. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else wants to go into it? Okay. So now I'm going to do a countdown. 3, 2, 1. They're a jar. Okay. So I'm going to put on the screen what it is. Mountains. Mountains. Pyramid or... Okay, pyramid. Dude, he got it right there. Pyramid. This came in. Pyramid. So that does round yellow. So yeah, this is what we see here. Okay, so we're going to do this again. And we're going to do the next step here. So I'm going to close the image. We'll do another remote viewing thing. And tell me if you guys like this. You want some more of this. We can probably do this on a regular segment on a Sunday, since it seems like Sundays are quiet, and it definitely relieves me from trying to find a whole bunch of stuff. We get talk about remote viewing, see some stuff remote viewing, and really hone into this. This is pretty cool. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do it again. See if we can just find another image here. I'm going to make it even bigger so you guys, hopefully that would, let me back up. Okay, so this, all right, so we're going to do another one. I got my clock over here. Where's my clock? Where's my clock? Sorry about that. I lost my clock. That stupid clock. All right, we're going to do another 30 seconds. We're going to try to focus in. And just close your eyes, visualize my room, visualize what's on the screen, and I'm going to point at it with my finger. All right, guys? So we're going to get 30 seconds. All right, so there's the 30 seconds. Put in your guesses. Mark Davis says a door. He sees a door. Who else? Street 8 low. I don't know, Dennis. Maybe that's a misspelling. We'll see. We're here. Any more guesses? Do you guys see? Some more guesses there. Building or something. Building or something. A bridge. Okay. Okay. You guys see a bridge. Square with people. Family photo. Alright, so you said you see squares. Okay, that's cool. And you said people, family photos. So you do see squares, family. Some kind of instrument. That's pretty interesting. I got interrupted. Sorry, Kelly. What was it? Oh, you had to go away for a sec. Okay, so I'm gonna bring it up. 3, 2, football. Okay, 3, 2, 1. So someone said they've seen squares, or they've seen squares, and they jumped for a family picture or something like that. So that was pretty interesting. You've seen squares, so you're like, okay, it does look like a picture or something. So you jumped for family picture. So that was pretty cool. Whoever did that, Randy, that was pretty cool. You seen squares. So that that did have a lot of lines in it. All right, so we're gonna do it again here. This is actually pretty fun. This is pretty fun. So let me do the timing again. Unless if you guys are thinking that it's this image on the screen thing, that's the clock. That's the clock, okay? I'm like, why the hell's my right hand not moving? Okay, so that's what's reflecting on my glasses. That's when I press this. That's the clock. Okay. So let's do it one more time. I'm going to put something new on the screen here. Get this out of here. Let's do... Oh. That's... I think most people are going to get this. I think most people are going to see this. Alright. So now we got the image up. We're going to put the clock on again. 30-second segment. I'm scared. I'm not doing that again. Thanks. Maybe another time. No problem, Randy. No problem. So we're going 30 seconds here. 30 seconds. And just focus in. Focus on it. I'm pointing at it. I'm pointing at it. I'm pointing at it. See if you guys can focus in. Remote viewing segment here. Remote viewing. Alright, 30 seconds is up. Alright, let's do this. Alright, so guess what you guys can see on the screen here. I'm pointing at it. See if you guys can see that. Focus in. Focus in. See if you guys can guess what you can see on the screen here. Triangle shape was that Dennis said. Focus. Try to look at my hands. I'm pointing at it, okay? So focus in what I'm seeing here. Someone says a round ball. Okay, all right. A building. Okay. Someone else said lots of skin. Okay, all right. Lots of skin. Oval. All right. We have come from your toilet paper. Okay, all right. Sean came from the toilet paper. All right, so now we're going to put it up. Horse, you see a horse? Okay. All right, so we're going down. We're doing a countdown. 3, 2, 1. All right, so that was it. Whoever said circle, probably the round, the circle or oval, something round. That right there. So whoever said oval, circle, balloon, that could possibly be, you know, round, right? So that's subjectively round, right? So it's kind of weird, right? All right, we're going to do one more here and see if we can't get this. See if we can't get this, okay? So let me do another one here. Darn, man, the darn bald guy. Damn. Fucking shit. These fucking bald people floating around in the internet. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's actually funny. All right, let's do this. And you guys on Spotify, man, you guys can do it too. You know, we do this and you concentrate and you focus in and see what you guys can see, you know. It's not a timely thing. You just focus in a time and place and get it located on there, right? Okay, so here we go again. I'm going to do a 30-second ordeal. You guys focus in and see what we can get, okay? So here we go again, 30 seconds. I'm going to point at it for you. close your eyes and focus in. All right, so we hit the 30-second mark. Okay, so focus in to what you guys can see. Like example, what shape it is, what color it is, what kind of structure it has. Let's see what the red turd. Okay, all right, a red poop. Okay, cat paw. Cat paw. All right, all right. Someone said wheels. Okay. You only see round thingies. Okay. Someone says car. He specifically said car. Okay. All right. Got one more guess and then we get into it. Something round and furry. Something round and furry. Okay. So now we're gonna whale, dark, maybe black, white, like orca, whale, dark, orca. Okay. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Whoever said fucking car right on the nail, bro. You're a mother effer. You got the car. I see car. Whoever said round, I can see that. Round. Circles. You see circles. You see this. So yeah, I can see how you can just focus into circles. I can see that. Orca. This does look like whale skin. The color there, that definitely does look like that. Does have that complexion, right? Someone said round and furry. It's round. So that definitely pretty segmented there, you know. No worries. I'm like way off half the time. Don't worries. No worries at all. But sometimes it's like spot on and it's like so I hope everyone enjoyed that. Maybe this is gonna be a Sunday thing. So because it's pretty heavy on the week there that we can spot this. So definitely pretty interesting. But whoever hit that nail on the head there, someone said the last one. All right, 17 is a telepath. Yeah, holy cow, man. Holy cow. You like this, Cal? I appreciate it. You know who brought this idea up to me? It was UFO Chips. He mentioned that we should do that. He mentioned that we should have a segment dedicated for remote viewing, episode of remote viewing, and that came about that. So he's if you ever chat to him, tell him, hey, thanks for the remote viewing, man. That we're definitely going to try to do that every Sunday and get that on a Sunday, you know, something that's kind of slow. Everyone can get into it. And we talk about the aspects of remote viewing, stories, interviews, remote viewing, and make that part of our, you know, regular scheduled program, and keep that in mind. But definitely got people thinking, hey, it's one of those things, you know. It's really cool. It's really cool. So you know, if you guys been here this long, thank you for the likes, thank you for the hearts, thank you for the gifts. Definitely a pretty cool idea, right? We got our brains working there trying to figure shit out. So if anything, it was definitely really cool. I thank you guys for showing up. I'm going to call it early here, 30 minutes early. And I hope you guys enjoy your rest of your night. And if you've been here this long, you are disclosure.
feel like a hybrid in the deep. What you know about flying in a plasma stream? When you bring it back, it's the cosmic beam. When the human eyes show up, everything gets serene. I feel like an envoy in a starship dream. She say that I'm weird. I'm like, you ain't seen the sphere. I believe in UAPs, don't believe your Earth TV. She keep playing me close, don't watch them from close. You don't really know my intel. Let me beam you the truth like Roswell. Floating out in the craft, no fuel, we just bending mass. See that light, it moves so fast. See my soul ain't stuck in past. Didn't know which for my rare, gray or blue. The reptile stare freaks me up. Feel that surge, I'll ascend this rumble purge. Listen to